It began in Akron, Ohio, a quiet Midwestern town where a young girl named Olivia Barrett trained on cracked pavement and chased dreams bigger than the streets she ran. She rose to fame. Gold medals, magazine covers, the pride of a nation. But behind that glory was a betrayal no one saw coming, not from a rival, but from the man she loved most. Years after her fall from grace, a single anonymous letter uncovered the truth. And by then, it was too late. This is the devastating true story of how a champion was framed from within her own home, and how the world almost never knew. Let us know in the comments. Do you think justice was truly served? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-life stories that expose what lies beneath the spotlight. Asterisk. Olivia Barrett grew up in a modest, tight-knit neighborhood in Akron, Ohio. The Barretts weren't wealthy, but they were disciplined. Her father, Mason, worked 2 jobs, one in a machine shop, the other driving a delivery van. Her mother, Carol, taught 3rd grade and ran a small garden on the side. From the moment Olivia could walk, her parents pushed her to strive. As a child, Olivia was energetic and competitive. While other kids played tag, Olivia turned every playground moment into a race. Her first track meet, at just 9 years old, was a community event in a cracked asphalt lot near the local rec center. She didn't win that day, but something awakened in her. By 12, she was beating older kids in sprints. By 14, she was nationally ranked. Her high school years were a flurry of medals, media, and scouts. She shattered every state record. Coaches from Stanford, Duke, LSU, and Oregon sent letters. But Olivia chose the University of Michigan. Not for the prestige, but because their head coach, Dennis Klein, promised her something rare: transparency. It was there, at 19, she met Eli Carter. Eli was in his last year of physical therapy school. He wasn't flashy or loud. He volunteered with the school's sports recovery team and worked part-time in the university's rehab center. Olivia sprained her ankle during off-season training, and their first conversation was awkward and brief. But over the weeks of recovery, they connected. Eli was calm, observant, and never treated Olivia like a celebrity. He didn't ask for autographs. He didn't care about records. He asked how she was sleeping, how her mental state was holding up. It was refreshing. Their relationship started quietly, but grew quickly. Olivia, the nation's fastest rising star, and Eli, the grounded, compassionate therapist. By her junior year, she had earned a spot on the U.S. national team. By graduation, they were engaged. At the Olympic trials, she stunned the world with a 10.72-second finish in the 100-meter dash. The headlines declared her America's bullet from the Buckeye State. The media loved them. The rising Olympian and her supportive fiancé. They became darlings of the sports world. But while Olivia's star soared, Eli's path dimmed. He took odd jobs, never quite finding his footing. When they married 6 months before the Tokyo Olympics, Olivia was making 6 figures from endorsements. Eli was working per diem shifts in a suburban clinic. The imbalance didn't show in public, but it grew in the shadows. Olivia's Olympic performance was the stuff of legend. 2 golds and a silver. A record-breaking 200-meter time that had the world calling her the next Flo Jo. Endorsements exploded: Nike, Gatorade, even a beauty line. Interviews, talk shows, social media followers in the millions. Eli stayed home. He was Olivia's anchor, or so it seemed. He managed her schedule, vetted her sponsorship contracts, and handled her recovery regimen. She trusted him more than any agent. But behind the scenes, Eli was unraveling. At family dinners, he said little. At red carpet events, he stood awkwardly beside her, overshadowed. Whenever someone asked what he did, he joked, "I'm the water boy." What began as admiration turned to envy. Olivia remained the humble star, unaware that Eli felt like a ghost in her presence. He grew resentful, watching interviewers ignore him, seeing fans scream her name while walking past him, hearing her coaches praise her solo discipline, not realizing he coordinated every meal, every vitamin, every schedule. That resentment metastasized. He began locking himself in his study, poring over supplements, recovery plans, testing protocols. Olivia thought it was support. In reality, it was strategy. One morning, months after a victory in Zurich, Olivia was selected for a random drug test by the World Athletics Doping Agency. She'd been tested dozens of times before. It was routine. But 2 weeks later, she received a phone call. "Olivia, your blood test came back positive for cortisol." Her world collapsed. Cortisol, a banned stimulant with metabolism-enhancing properties. It had never touched her hands. She insisted on a retest. It came back positive again. In 24 hours, her sponsors suspended her. Journalists circled like vultures. Commentators speculated. Rivals nodded solemnly but celebrated quietly. Her world of order descended into chaos. Eli comforted her. He wiped her tears, told her they would fight it. But at night, he slept soundly while she spiraled. She was banned pending investigation. Headlines screamed, "Bullet or busted. Golden girls fall from grace." From champion to cheater. Olivia's appeals failed. The media buried her. The public judged her. Only her mother, Carol, stood firmly beside her. And Eli. Always Eli. Always watching. 3 years later, Olivia had withdrawn from public life, living quietly in rural Washington state. Her voice was never heard again on TV. No interviews. No races. Then came the leak. Claire Monroe, an investigative journalist for Runner's Pulse, received an anonymous package. Inside, a printed email thread between 2 Olympic testing staffers. Lab data showing test sample tampering. A handwritten note. She was innocent. He changed everything. Claire dug deeper. A contact at the testing agency confirmed the timestamp mismatch. Olivia's sample had been logged 3 hours after her test was supposedly sealed. Security footage from the Olympic Medical Wing showed a man, Eli Carter, entering the lab late at night. He used Olivia's medical ID card. Claire cross-referenced timestamps with Eli's flight data and confirmed it. He was there. The evidence was submitted to WADA. Within weeks, the case was reopened. Olivia never got to see her name cleared. 6 months before the investigation concluded, she was found unresponsive at home. Heart failure. Doctors cited prolonged stress and an undiagnosed condition. She died with her reputation still in tatters. At her funeral, Eli wept. He delivered a eulogy about lost chances, about faith. The world believed he was a grieving husband. But behind the scenes, federal investigators were building a case. Emails between Eli and a synthetic chemist revealed he purchased a substance chemically identical to cortisol months before the Olympics. Bank records showed payments to anonymous suppliers. Digital forensics recovered a deleted message Eli sent to a friend. "She'll forgive me one day. I just wanted to slow her down. Just for a while." Eli Carter was arrested on March 22, 2024. He confessed. His reason: "I wanted to matter again. I wanted to see her fall, just enough to need me again." The trial was swift. The evidence overwhelming. The public shocked. Eli Carter was sentenced to 28 years in prison without parole for 20. Charges: tampering with sports records, criminal sabotage, and negligent manslaughter. 2 weeks later, Olivia's Olympic medals were reinstated. The International Athletics Council issued an apology. Her records restored. Her name cleared. In her honor, the Olivia Barrett Foundation for Women in Sports was launched. Its mission: to protect athletes from internal betrayal and support those silenced by unjust systems. At the track where Olivia set her first record at 15, a new statue stands, her likeness crossing the finish line, eyes forward, arms stretched in victory. Beneath it, the inscription reads, "She ran with fire. She fell by betrayal. But in the end, truth crossed the line." What drives someone to destroy the person they claim to love? In Olivia Barrett's case, it wasn't a rival that ruined her. It was the person beside her. And though the truth came too late for her to witness, it came nonetheless. Justice, though delayed, is still justice. Leave a comment below. Was Eli's sentence fair? Should Olivia be posthumously honored further? Subscribe for more true stories that reveal the darkest truths behind the brightest lights.